Okay. Hey, hey, what a couple of days, right? Just dodging spoilers, going completely internet gone, not streaming at all, so I don't get any spoilers of anything, keeping radio silence. I saw it at midnight. I left the theater at 3:30, got home at like 4, a little earlier than 4. I had nothing but Raisinets and coffee for the past like 12 hours. My face is red, I'm breaking out, I'm sweaty. Everything is going crazy. I'm trying to catch up on work that I've messed up on, and everything is insane. But we're here to discuss a review for Avengers Endgame. I don't do movie reviews at all, so if you're new here, hi, I'm Bricky. I don't do these, but they're fun sometimes, so I occasionally do them. But we are just going here to discuss Avengers Endgame because of course we are, because of course I gotta get that YouTube money, but of course I want to talk about it. I did a review for Infinity War back in the day as well, and so I thought it'd be a very interesting thing to go ahead and talk about this particular movie because it's a big deal, and unfortunately reviewing the movie is hard as hell because the trailer showed maybe the first quarter of the film and they showed you basically nothing, and it's nothing. They've shown you pretty much nothing, and the trailers are fantastic. They do a great job at setting up the movie and setting up what you think you'll be getting into when in reality there is so much more going on, and it's pretty fantastic when you actually do see it. Now, what do I think of the movie? It's great. It's phenomenal, actually. It is incredible. It is, in my opinion, not as good as Infinity War. However, it has a lot of parts that are better than Infinity War, and that's hard to entirely describe without going into spoilers, which I will not be going into today. And it's difficult to really provide a good reason or discussion on why I think part of it is really, really good and better than Infinity War. But as a movie, I would probably consider it just slightly lower. Like if you had a top 5 list of Marvel movies, Infinity War would be around there and Endgame would be right below it. But overall, it is a pretty phenomenal movie. It is long movie, 3 hours long, and there are no good bathroom breaks. So just don't drink water at all, ever, in that entire day. Dehydrate yourself, I don't know. Just, there are no good times to leave for the bathroom. The 3 hours fly by. Understand that 3 hours, this is like interstellar length of a movie. So it flies by, but it is still very long. And it's split up into 3 acts, like most things are. And the first act, I could name each act in their own ways. The first act is depression and sadness. The second act is comedy and fan service. And the third act is spectacle. The first act is actually probably my favorite act. It deals a lot with what happens when Thanos does his snap. What happens when half the population is eradicated, and how these Avengers and people are trying to survive afterwards, because it hurts. It hurts pretty bad. And these are all actors that are incredibly good. We kind of forget that the people who play these roles are very talented actors and actresses. Robert Downey Jr., Jeremy Renner, Paul Rudd, Scarlett Johansson, etc. These are good actors. You know, I mean, they may not always be in good films, but they can act. And it's nice to have them finally acting, finally showing pain and sadness and depression, and it is extremely good. In particular, there is a lot of Hawkeye and Ant-Man in this movie, and they are actually pretty damn good. Scott Lang and was it Clint Barton? Is that his name? Paul Rudd and Jeremy Renner, they do a great job in their respective roles. They have a lot of screen time, and especially Hawkeye has a very good amount of time, and he really has a nicely developed character. I thoroughly enjoyed him. This movie focuses a lot more around the 6 main Avengers. So that's Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and it does actually do a little bit of Ant-Man as well, like I just mentioned. But those are your main ingredient players. Personally, Captain America is my favorite Avenger, and he has been ever since Civil War, actually. Winter Soldier. Because he seems like he went through a lot of arcs. The first Captain America movie, it was pretty good, but it wasn't anything overly fantastic, and his character wasn't overly interesting. It was just, I am small and weak, and now I am big and strong. But his morals and his own personal personality didn't really change. Winter Soldier really kind of put the screws to that. Civil War put the screws to it even more. And now I think he's a really well fleshed out character, and he got a decent amount of screen time. He's actually very important in this movie. Primarily Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, so Iron Man and Captain America, do a pretty phenomenal job in their retrospective areas. And they steal the show sometimes, and it becomes pretty damn fantastic. Going over to the second act, it's a lot more fan servicey. Is it too fan servicey? Maybe. I don't know. On a first viewing, I loved the hell out of it. It was great, both in terms of emotional punches, comedic punches, and just fan service in general. However, I do wonder if I'll get tired of it on subsequent viewings. I'll have to see it again in order to legitimately think about that. But the second act is actually, in my personal opinion, the weakest of the three acts. Not because it's bad, but because of some pacing issues. It's a little bit too, all right, we're doing this, and then we're doing this, and then these people are doing this, and these people are doing this, and but they're doing this also, and we gotta be careful because these guys are doing this, and we gotta cut back because we gotta save on time. And it's still a 3-hour-long movie. You could probably make the entire film, or you could make an entire film around the second act and have it be a full-fledged movie. I think the pacing was a little bit difficult there, but it was still pretty solid. And the third act is just, it's just insane. It's ridiculous. It is an absolute spectacle. It is fantastic, crazy looking, and I can't really describe it in any way because anything that I could describe it with will be a spoiler, and it is just too crazy. I can't say anything about it. The third act is immense. One of the most impressive third acts of any movie I've ever seen. It is the culmination of 10 years of filmmaking, 10 years of Marvel, bam, right into the last 45 minutes. And it is pretty incredible. It's undescribable. I can't really talk about it without you actually going out and seeing it or spoiling it. So I'm just saying it's great. It does have some downsides, at least throughout the full movie, not the third act in primarily, but overall the movie is phenomenal. It is a very good final movie. It is a great kind of farewell to the first 10 years. There's obviously going to be more Marvel movies, but it is a solid end piece, an end game. Haha, jokes. I'm just so fucking funny. But sorry. It's a great 10-year send-off. And overall, some pacing issues I have. Also, you can nitpick the shit out of this movie. Just a warning, if you're like kind of people that really care about specifics and certain continuity, and wait, if they did this in this movie, how are they doing this in Endgame? And why didn't they just do this? And you'll do that. And if you're that kind of person, you will do that a lot. There are a lot of issues like that. I can name a lot off the top of my head. And if that's the kind of thing that really bugs you, like this does this, and I hate this because this was supposed to be this in that movie, then okay, valid criticisms. And I completely see that. But expectations are important in a movie. And I'll say this, like I said before, in games, I don't play Uncharted, and I don't expect Uncharted to be God of War. And I don't play Papers, Please and expect it to be Metal Gear Rising. You need to know what you're getting into. You're getting into a big spectacle comic book movie. Yeah, there are coincidences. Yeah, there are easy things that work with the plot. And yeah, there are plot points that are there just to do this thing. Of course there are. It's a Marvel movie. This is what you're getting. You can nitpick the shit out of this movie, but the movie almost kind of knows this. It almost knows that you can nitpick it, and so it just doesn't care. And at the end of the day, I'm kind of okay with that, because knowing what the movie is more important than trying to fix all of it. Kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, right? It's dumb, and it's fun, and it's silly, and it knows it is, and because of that, it is a better movie because of it at the end. So that's my review. Phenomenal. Not the best Marvel movie ever, but absolutely great. A fantastic send-off, some really great emotional beats. Big fan. Absolutely go see it if you haven't been spoiled yet or you haven't seen it already. Tomorrow I'll have a spoiler review as well. If you want to talk more about the nitty-gritty, go ahead and check that up here. And my name is Brick. You're all beautiful people, and I will see you later as I get some goddamn water in my system. Bye-bye.